Hello and welcome to the Ice Guys. This is the show that takes you into the world of the National Hockey League. Every game, every day, from a betting perspective. With pro sports handicappers, Ian Cameron, Alex B. Smith, and various guests from the world of hockey and sports betting. And now, here's your host, Ian Cameron.
Welcome to the Ice Guys, Wednesday, March the 4th. Ian Cameron, Perlo with you on this edition of the show, ready to break down the Wednesday NHL card. A light slate tonight, 5 games on tap, and we'll break that down in just a moment. But first, we have some very important and exciting breaking news to deliver.
This is breaking news from the Ice Guys.
This is a Patreon exclusive live betcast night. Yes, indeed. Tonight, we will be with you for the early games on this Wednesday slate. That's typically the pattern for us with the exclusive live betcasts on Patreon. We roll for the early games, so it's about a 3-hour betcast, 7 p.m. Eastern until approximately 10:30 p.m. Eastern time, whenever those early games are on. And that is when we will be with you tonight. On Wednesday, March the 4th, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. There you see it on the screen. Patreon exclusive live betcast here tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern. We'll be with you for the 2 early games on the Wednesday slate. Vegas, Detroit, Toronto, New Jersey. One game not so great, but hey, it's still a NHL regular season game. It's still betting lines. There's still going to be live betting opportunities with that Leafs-Devils game, even though it's 2 teams likely missing the playoffs. And, of course, the other game's a really important game, Vegas and Detroit, 2 teams obviously currently in playoff positioning and looking to further their positioning in the standings. So tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, Patreon-exclusive NHL live betcast. Make sure you sign up, patreon.com/iceguys. $10 per month. Make sure you get on board to be part of the betcast tonight. And then after the betcast is over, which will be around 10 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, stick around for at least for tonight, it's called the Ice Guys Betcast post-game show, also known as Jaime's Picks Frolic with Perlo and Perlo and Dre and company. So make sure you tune in to his show after. They'll be on right after the game to go through the Thursday NHL board after the betcast ends. So all of that tonight. So make sure you get on board on Patreon if you're not already. We've gotten great response from new signups, new subscribers, new members to the Patreon page, patreon.com/iceguys. $10 per month to join us for the Ice Guys Patreon exclusive live betcast tonight, starting at 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. All right, let's look back on Tuesday. As far as the NHL board is concerned, it was another winning night, another profitable night. You know, we're stacking these profitable nights here the last few. Really, there was one bad night I had. I think it was Friday last week. Friday was good. Sunday was the day that was a little bit of a down day. Friday was good. Saturday was good. Monday was good. Last night was good. So no question, it's been a nice run here coming out of the Olympic break, and I was worried about that. As someone that's had a great season overall, you know, we've got, I was worried the break would kind of throw off my rhythm, just like I'm talking about how I'm worried the break might throw off certain teams' rhythm on the ice coming out of the break. But it ended up being a really, really strong night overall. We had the Boston Bruins, best bet on the show, -115. They get a 2-1 lead after the first, and then not a goal after that. They were able to shut it down, keep Pittsburgh off the board. I thought it was one of Jeremy Swayman's best performances in quite some time. He was excellent to preserve that 2-1 win for the Boston Bruins over the Pittsburgh Penguins. So we cashed the best bet with Boston in that game. Columbus, very impressed with Columbus. Back-to-back spot, after the Ranger victory the previous night in overtime. Not the easiest scheduling spot, and they find a way to get past the Nashville Predators by a score of 3-2. Jack Greaves, another goalie that had a pretty solid night for the Jackets, helping them win that game. So a big 2 points for Columbus as they try to stay in the playoff race in the Eastern Conference, the wild card and the Metro race. They're trying to get one of those spots, right? They're trying to get in as either wild card 2 or the third spot in the Metro, and certainly a big 2 points for the Jackets there last night. all right, it's time to bring out the casket and lower it into the ground when it comes to the Florida Panthers. It's done. It's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. No playoffs for the Florida Panthers. No three-peat. No chance to three-peat as Stanley Cup champions this year. I think that loss puts an end to it. 5-1 defeat to the New Jersey Devils last night. Disappointing. And I was concerned about the fact that, and that's why I kept this Florida bet. I did take Florida, but kept it small because I was just worried about what kind of response would we get from this team. And all you got to do is look at that third period, and that's all the response you need. Team's out of gas, man. They're exhausted. They're spent. They've hit a wall physically, mental toll, the physical toll, the mental toll of 2 straight years winning a Stanley Cup and 3 straight years getting to the Stanley Cup final. And you could see it right there that running on empty, yes, the great Jackson Brown song, running on empty. That's the Florida Panthers right now. In a spot where you have to think about this as to how they're physically and mentally spent. This is a game they have to win. New Jersey's not playing good hockey, and they are down. What was the score going into the third period? 3-1 New Jersey. And in a game they've got to have to salvage any hope to make a playoff push, they're outshot 12-2 by the New Jersey Devils. That tells you all you need to know. I mean, it's Florida's just got nothing left in the tank, and obviously all the NHL insiders have stated over the last 12 hours after that game that Florida's opening the lines of communication for trade talks, for selling some key pieces. I know AJ Greer's name is being bandied about. There's Sergei Bobrovsky because he's a pending unrestricted free agent. His name is getting mentioned there as well. So, like I said, now it's going to be interesting to see what Bill Zito, the general manager here of Florida, is going to be able to do at this point in time. But obviously there could be some moves made between now and Friday's trade deadline. But, yeah, it's all over but the crying for the Florida. I don't think they're going to cry too much, the Florida Panthers fans. They've had 3 phenomenal years. When you talk about getting to the Cup final 3 years in a row, winning 2 of them back-to-back. You've had a good run. Everything just, added up against you. Fatigue, the injuries, and you being without your captain. And you're one of the best 2-way players in the NHL, Alexander Barkov, all season. You've certainly seen Florida miss him dearly. It's just, and I think they're still going to be a formidable team next year. But, a lot of this core has gotten a little bit older, played a lot of hockey. There's probably going to have to be some cosmetic changes. You're obviously not going to blow it up or anything. Of course not. But you're going to look to make at least a few changes here. Both up front and with the defense as well with this Florida Panthers team. And like I said, there's a lot of guys that have disappointed. Verhaeghe, Reinhart's been kind of down this year offensively. Bennett, same thing. You talk about, obviously, Matthew Tkachuk's offense when he's been healthy hasn't been there. And then, of course, he had the injuries. Bobrovsky hasn't been anywhere close to as good. Forsling and Ekblad haven't been anywhere close to as good. We saw what happened to them against the Islanders. Anders Lee burning them, making them look bad on the defensive end of the ice there in that game-winning goal. So all kinds of reasons why Florida is going to not make the playoffs. Injuries, guys not playing to the level they did, last year, 2 years ago. But at the end of the day, disappointing still that Florida will not, more than likely, it's not official yet, but it's pretty much done. More than likely not going to get a chance to defend their Stanley Cup championship for a 3rd year in a row. The Buffalo Sabres just keep on rolling. 3-2. They beat the Vegas Golden Knights. Last night, they got out to a 3-0 lead. Vegas got it to 3-2. But again, this team defensively, a very solid, low-event third period. They only gave up 6 shots. Alex Lyon was there to make the saves when he needed to, and a great win. And I'm so happy to see that building energized in Buffalo. The place is packed. They're waving towels. It's good. It's just a fun, loud building again. And it's been years since we've seen that at Key Bank Center with the Buffalo Sabres. So, really, really good win there for Buffalo against a Vegas team that had some sense of urgency with the multiple losses in a row. And Buffalo getting the 3-2 win. That Tage Thompson with another good game. It was nice what they did at the beginning, honoring him winning the gold medal for Team USA. And he brought his Team USA teammates that play for Vegas to take part in the celebration, Jack Eichel and Noah Hannafin. I thought that was really good pregame. Basically, pass the baton. Jack Hughes did that for him in New Jersey, and Tage Thompson doing that for his other U.S. teammates on the other side last night. So nice pregame ceremony there. Utah, big win against Washington, 3-2. I did have a small piece of Utah in the draw. We almost got the draw, but Utah gets the win. Tourney called them out after the Chicago loss. It was a very, very solid road effort from the Mammoth yesterday in that one. They get the job done. Big 2 points for them. Gunther, Sergachev, Turka getting the goals for Utah. Solid performance from Vemelka and a nice 3-2 win there for Utah in that game. Winnipeg comes back from 2-1 down late to tie it 2-2 to cash the draw as well. I was on that Blackhawks-Jets draw, plus 320. We cashed that, which was great at that price. And then Winnipeg wins it in overtime by a score of 3-2, thanks to a Mark Scheifele overtime winner. Perfetti tied it in the last minute. So tough loss for Chicago. And I thought, Spencer Knight gave them a chance, but again, Chicago offense kind of comes and goes, and Winnipeg was opportunistic late to force OT and then found a way to win it 3-2 in overtime. Dallas puts it to Calgary 6-1 last night. Great win for them. Matt Robinson was on the show yesterday at Dallas. Best bet. Easy winner there with that, and they get the job done against Calgary 6-1. 10 straight wins now for the Dallas Stars. And again, for Casey DeSmith, and I think Perlo kind of like Flames team total under in that game. Another game where Casey DeSmith gives up 2 goals or less. Very, very sound he has been. One of the better backup goaltenders this season, quite honestly, in the NHL with the way he has played in a backup role for the Dallas Stars. Easy as can get with the over in the Ottawa-Edmonton game. I mean, it was 2-2 after the first period. The only thing I didn't win in this game was Ottawa money line. We hit everything else. We had Ottawa team total over. We actually had a first period over parlay pregame that I bet because and it cashed because the prices were too expensive to bet them individually. And one of them was Ottawa-Edmonton in that 3-leg first period over parlay. It was Ottawa-Edmonton first period over, Montreal-San Jose first period over, Colorado-Anaheim first period over. We put them in a parlay at plus 358. And nice to be able to cash that. And, of course, the full game over was easy as it gets. The only thing we didn't win was Ottawa money line because Edmonton comes back 5-4 overtime win, down 4-2, and that's what Edmonton can do. Like, are they a mess defensively? Yes. Is the goaltending suspect? Yes. But their offense is capable on any given night of bailing them out. And even though Ottawa's defensive numbers lately have been very good, Edmonton can do that even to the better of defensive teams. And Nugent-Hopkins, Hyman, Bouchard helping to rescue Edmonton and get them back into the win column last night. And that is now, 11 straight Edmonton Oilers games, 7+ goals. So again, 11 straight Edmonton Oilers games, 7+ total goals. So until you see, I don't think you're going to see it anyway, but 6.5s are going to keep popping up. You got to keep betting it at this point. They just keep on going over the total. This Edmonton Oilers team, they're scoring, they're giving it up. And as a result, they've been just a great over team. Minnesota, nice win for them. Credit to Alex. Alex brought to our attention yesterday that Tampa Bay has struggled historically in Minnesota, and they did once again last night, 5-1, even though John Cooper kind of called them out for the way they played against Buffalo, and they did not respond in the right way that I'm sure he was hoping for. Minnesota 5-1. What a goal Quinn Hughes scored. The instincts he basically saw on his goal to really put it out of reach, make it 4-1 at the time. All that wide open real estate in the slot says, oh, you're going to give me that open space in the slot? Thank you. I'll take it. And just ripped it home past Andrei Vasilevsky. And by the way, Andrei Vasilevsky, his goalie gloves went faulty on that third goal, which was a real backbreaker for Tampa Bay. Faulty oven mitts, as I said on Twitter. He just put the paws down on the puck, and the puck just squirted loose. He couldn't cover it, couldn't corral that puck, and it made it easy for the rebound just sitting there for Yakov Trenin to put it in for the Minnesota Wild. So great win for Minnesota. And don't look now, Tampa Bay, one of the hottest teams in the NHL for the last, month to 2 months. They're now on a 3-game losing streak after that, a loss last night to the Minnesota Wild. Anaheim was not very good last night. I shouldn't say not very. They were okay, but, they couldn't bury their chances. Wedgwood was very good early. Anaheim did control the flow early, and then it seemed like once Colorado got that 2-0 lead, they were never the same after. Really took a lot of wind out of the sails of the Anaheim Ducks, and Colorado ends up cruising to a 5-1 win. Yeah, this was the game that hurt me the most last night. It was still a good night overall, very good, but This game, not so much. We had the Anaheim money line team total over split, and the full game over falls short, as kind of Colorado puts it on cruise control once they got up 5-1 in that game. But that's an impressive back-to-back wins for Colorado. LA, off a coaching change, they're able to win that game, and then they're able to get the job done there against Anaheim 5-1 last night. And then we ended the night with just a crazy wild game with the Habs and the Sharks, 7-5 for San Jose. They get the job done. San Jose had a 5-2 lead. Montreal gets 3 unanswered goals, ties it at 5. And then Kiefer Sherwood, who we were waiting for him to get going, he scores the game winner on the power play with 3.5 minutes left. Adam Gaudette adds the empty netter, and a 7-5 victory for the San Jose Sharks last night in that game. I think it was a 3-point night for it was a 4-point night for Macklin Celebrini. He had a goal, and he had, I think, 3 assists as well last night for the San Jose Sharks. He continues to play great. And last, before I get to Perlo and his thoughts on last night, how about this frickin' bargain bin special of that segment? Are you shitting me?
Rushed.
One bargain bin special of the night winner delivered from each of us on the show yesterday. Alex, Anton Lundell, Florida, plus 370. Matt Robinson went with Sam Steele for Dallas, plus 500, which cashed first goal of the game. And then I cashed in the late night hours with Michael Misa for San Jose at plus 500 as well. And he's now scored in 3 straight games for the San Jose Sharks. So 3 bargain bin special winners, one from each of the participants on the show on Tuesday, me, Alex, and Matt Robinson. So that was awesome to see that. I mean, we can't do much better than that, folks. I mean, you can't. I mean, 3 bargain bin special winners, and you combine the prices of those 3, that's plus 1370 worth of winners in the bargain bin last night. So, over 13-1 for the combined prices of the 3 bargain bin special goal props we gave you last night. So, unbelievable. Great stuff. Great day overall. Like I said, my best bet hit. Matt's best bet hit as well. All of that was great to see. So like I said, it was a great night overall. Hopefully we got more of that in store here tonight, including on our live betcast, Patreon exclusive. I saw the comment from Aaron. Why did you pick tonight with such a weak slate? We kind of want to pick the lighter slates for the Patreon exclusive betcast because the plan is to just go 3 hours through the early games. It isn't the greatest slate, I admit, but like I said, that's kind of where we go with the Patreon exclusive live betcasts. We're going to do a lot more as far as Patreon exclusive live betcasts in April. So we're going to mix it up next month. We're going to have some Patreon exclusive live betcasts on small card nights and some on bigger card nights as well. So that's coming up in April. I don't know if we're going to add a second Patreon exclusive live betcast here in the month of March. I want to. It pains me not to, but it's hard to because of the tournament and the college basketball that's going on. It just takes up so much time, effort, attention, and focus for me this month. So this might be tonight the only Patreon exclusive live betcast here in March, but trust me, we will make up for it and then some in April and into May and into June when the Stanley Cup playoffs begin. We're going to have a ton of Patreon exclusive live betcasts for you, April and beyond. Perlo, hope your Tuesday went well. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I had a really good Tuesday. I think you said Sherwood had waiting for him to do well. I think maybe 30 sheets might have helped him out last night.
The contract extension went to his skates. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Yeah. The Bruins game, I had the Bruins, and I just can't go against that home record there with the Bruins right now. It's just it was your best bet yesterday, and that even had me higher on it for sure. But
it's 11 straight home wins for them, by the way.
Yeah, I know they're just solid, so solid at home. My premium goalie prop, saves prop, what you mentioned, Swayman was Swayman. Swayman over saves was my premium pick yesterday. So I love that one. That was great. And Shinnikov did me well yesterday as well. I not for a goal, but I had him for shots. But the Bruins here, it's funny, like if you look at you bring up team analytics and you can't just go on team analytics. The Bruins are a good example of that. a lot of times they're losing possession or whatever, but sometimes throw them out of the water, because the Bruins, because teams sometimes just can find a way to win, and that's where the Bruins are. And until it stops, I just keep on betting them at home, especially. The Blue Jackets game, I had the Jackets. Didn't have a lot on that game. Just the Jackets on that one. I got it at -142. It wasn't bad. I wish you guys would have got the draw, though, because I tailed that for a little bit. Jackets -1 in the draw. So the Panthers, yeah, this is what happened. And we'll talk about this later with New Jersey. You watch, man. They're going to loosen up now. That's all I'm going to say about that until we get to it. Sabres just can't. This is another team. You just got to keep on hitting them until they tell you otherwise. Just hit them. Even -135, grabbed it. That was my main bet. I missed other ones like the team total over and stuff. I had Utah. I just liked them there coming off that terrible loss. It was just, when you have a coach that's just awestruck by what you did, and it's a good team. It's a good young team, and they listened to their coach, and I thought they were going to have a good one there. So, that was a good one for me. The Flames team total under, you mentioned that. Yeah, I'm going to be sliding on that as well. I also is a Winnipeg game. I had Chicago team total under, which was like the last best bet I had was at Seattle team total under, and they scored like 2 in the first, and then I had to sweat it out all the way. And Chicago was fairly similar. It was definitely a sweat. I also had the Jets in that game. I'm going to be on the Jets a little bit more here. That's another team. Things have loosened up. They always want it. They're going to play hard no matter what. Like they're not going to be smart, as you would say, and fade for a draft pick. They can't do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't want to do it. So I'm going to be on the Jets a little more. And I got messed up with the Ducks like you did as well. I had pretty much all the plays that you did. I did have both teams to score first period. Even my Dostal over saves didn't come in. That was not a good one, but it's going to be interesting to see how the Ducks rebound now. There's been a lot of games, but don't want to go on a slide here. And this is the cool thing about having a coach like Quenneville, who's seen it all and done it all. You can have faith. I kind of have faith that he'll get these guys back rolling again. You bet them. I tailed that bet. That was a great bet. Ducks to win the division. That was awesome. I still think they're going to be in there for it. Montreal. I don't know why I didn't have more on that over that Montreal game. I just I don't know why. What in me thought that was going to be an under.
The skill, the speed, and the talent was evident in that game. That was a real fun game to watch.
Crazy fun game to watch, and you had to know that was going to happen. The two young guys like that, and the Edmonton game was another one. I just went with the Ottawa team total over, and I got it, which is great. But they're just that huge shot suppression team. They took Carolina. They blocked. Carolina only had 19 shots against them 2 times a lot before the break. And I thought maybe they might be able to do that to Edmonton, but no, Edmonton's speed always gets you moving. And there it goes. It hits the over. I didn't play it. I did have Ottawa for a bit, but the team total over was my best play in that in those games. But yeah, it was a great night. It was up green. It's been a great 3 days. Everything has been going well that way. Really excited for the trade deadline coming up. Hope we could get some trades tonight on the Betcast happen so we can have some other stuff to talk about as well. But having a small card, as the fellow said about the Betcast, we actually seem to do really well on those small cards because you can focus on just one game. And when you get Alex being able to focus on who's going to score the next goal in one game, that guy, Alex is a master at that, and he just crushes, man. So, yeah, if you don't have the 10 bone up yet, get there and get that Patreon because you will get paid back just tonight alone, more than likely. I don't think we've had too many red nights at all doing these bet casts. So yeah, sign up, man, because it's going to be good. It's going to be a great time.
Yeah, always fun. This is just a tip of the iceberg because, like I said, we're not going to have just the time. It's just so busy with all the NCAA tournament going on that we're not going to have many Patreon exclusive live betcasts here in March. So make sure you join us tonight. This could be our only one for the month. We might sneak one in at the end of the month for Patreon members. So, but still, there's a potential. At least this could be the only Patreon exclusive live betcast for the month of March. So tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you join us, and we'll take you through Vegas, Detroit, Toronto, New Jersey, the two early games here on this Wednesday slate. 7 o'clock Eastern, both games. Again, those are the games we'll be on the air for. Make sure you join us for that. Like I said, we're going to have a bunch. Trust me, we're going to have a ton of betcasts. We're going to have the one monthly free-for-all betcast that's open to everybody, open to the entire Ice Guys public. And once a month, we've got by the way, the one for March with the public betcast is Tuesday, March 24th. We already announced that, 7 p.m. Eastern. We go all night with that one. That'll be in a few weeks, and we picked a night with no NCAA tournament conflict. So that's why we went with Tuesday, March 24th. And in April, we'll have one Patreon or one free-for-all betcast in April, one in May, one in June, and then everything else we're going to have is Patreon exclusive live betcasts. And optimally, we are aiming to have 3, possibly even 4 Patreon exclusive live betcasts in April, May, and June. And that's in addition to the public one, the free-for-all one for the public each month. So we are going to go, trust me, betcast heavy here in April, May, and June, end of the regular season, and into the Stanley Cup playoffs. So very much looking forward to that, especially because the Patreon betcasts, we're going to continue to keep those 3 hours. We're not going to go we're not often going to go all night with those ones. We'll keep those to 3 hours. Same thing with the Stanley Cup playoffs. Stanley Cup playoffs, I've kind of got it in my mind that some Stanley Cup playoff live betcasts on Patreon will be the early games only, 7 p.m., 7:30 p.m. Eastern playoff games. We might even have a couple betcasts where we're only on for the late games, believe it or not, where we'll join you for 10 p.m. Eastern, 10:30 p.m. Eastern, just for the late night Western Conference playoff games. So we got tons of ideas in mind for what we're going to do with the Patreon exclusive live betcasts, especially once we get into the Stanley Cup playoffs in April, May, and June. So stay tuned for all of that. But again, tonight we'll be with you. Patreon exclusive live betcast, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight. Make sure you're there. Make sure you sign up. Patreon.com/Ice Guys, just $10 per month. All right, let's get into the Wednesday card. We'll begin with Vegas, Detroit. We'll be on the air, of course, for this game. Detroit minus 130, home favorites, 5.5 the total here in this game. Vegas can't back them. I mean, at the moment, I can't anyway. Lost last night, 3-2. They lose and get shut out by Pittsburgh. We saw what happened, obviously, against Washington. I mean, their only win post-Olympic break was the night they rested everybody. No Eichel, no Stone, no Marner. And, of course, without Theodore, didn't play against L.A. They won that game. They haven't won since. Mark Stone being out is a big deal because not only do you miss his offense, you miss his defensive play. He's obviously very good as far as takeaways are concerned, and obviously he's missed, and just an inability once again for Mark Stone to stay healthy. It's got to be frustrating if you're a Golden Knights fan. Adin Hill has been confirmed in net tonight here for the Vegas Golden Knights, and once again, his season, and it hasn't been very good. I mean, you look at some of his, or it hasn't, I don't think it has been confirmed that he's in yet, but I would expect it because it's back-to-back. But nevertheless, it's been a very concerning season for him. His goals saved above average numbers are way below where they should be. I think he's down in the bottom 3, bottom 5 as far as goals saved above expected, goals saved above average this year. So that's definitely a worry for me as far as this Vegas Golden Knights team. They're not defending very well at the moment. 5 spot allowed to Pittsburgh, 3 to Washington, 3 to Buffalo last night. That's an issue as well. Like I said, Mark Stone's absence kind of hurts that here as well. Now with Mark Stone, it's a day-to-day injury for him. They're not saying it's a real long-term issue. They haven't ruled him out either of tonight, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm pessimistic that he's going to play tonight for Vegas. John Gibson is out, so Cam Talbot will start for the Detroit Red Wings tonight. I'm not surprised by that. Obviously, they're being a little bit cautious here, the Red Wings, after the injury to Gibson in the Monday game against Nashville. So I don't mind that decision, to play it a little cautiously with his status. I like over 5.5. There's still some 5.5s here, minus 130. I think we're going to see a kind of game where both teams can contribute to the scoring in this one. A lot of the peripheral defensive numbers for Vegas have not been nearly as good. I'm kind of interested in a Detroit team total over a little bit here in this one as well, but I'm just waiting to see if Hill is indeed confirmed in net. But I'm definitely on this this full game over 5.5 here with the Golden Knights and the Red Wings. It's the only bet I've made pregame here at the moment from a side or total perspective. There are a couple props I'm involved in. Perlo, what do you think here, Vegas, Detroit?
Yeah, I took that team total over last night at minus 135 at 3. So I grabbed that right away. Figured Hill was going to be in.
And I went back and looked. Oh, one thing I got to mention to you, Perlo, too, with Vegas. I went back and looked because I saw this statement and this, floating around on Twitter that Vegas had not beaten a current team in the playoffs since November. It's actually true. I went back and looked. It's true.
Yeah. 25 and 21 or something like that.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
That's crazy.
And of course, if you buy into that trend, well, they're playing another team currently in a playoff spot here tonight.
Well, I talked about it last time that I put some pizza money on them to miss the playoffs. It's plus 22,000. They got a tough schedule, and with that record and the way they're looking, I mean, why not? It's a little just pizza money. Who cares? I also got the Red Wings money line for that very reason that we were just talking about. I'm just not believing in this team at all. I got a minus 132. So I got a little bit on that as well. And I like that over 5.5 for sure. We'll split it with team total over with Detroit there. I think Vegas should come out solid here, like come out hard, I imagine. But right now, I just don't know what they're going to do. I did think they were going to have a big game against Buffalo. Now it's the last game of a 3-game road trip where they haven't won anything, and they're going home to play some really tough teams. So they should be they should be draining the tank here in this game. So if that's the case, though, I don't trust them to win. I could see them to pot a couple with Talbot in that. So I like the over. I like the over 5.5. I'll even carry it to 6. It's fine. I could see a 5-3, something like that in this game somewhere or something like that. So yeah, let's go with those are my picks for that. I also have a little parlay. Larkin over shots, and in the Seattle game I took Dunn over shots, and that I got that at plus 165. So
hold on mute. There we go. Yeah, as far as this game is concerned with the props, I like what I'm seeing in the chat too. It makes a lot of sense as far as Braden Bowman for Vegas getting a little bit of a bump here tonight in this game. It looks like he is expected to be on the top line with Eichel and Barbashev. So Bruce Cassidy trying to, give teams a little bit of a different look there on that top line. So Braden Bowman's great value. I agree with that. Obviously, you can never Barbashev and Dorofeyev, I've talked about them quite a bit, as go-to goal prop options lately for Vegas. But yeah, no doubt Braden Bowman, there's great value if he's going to play on that top line tonight for Vegas. For Detroit, Michael Rasmussen, I'm going to stick with it. He looks like he might be with Larkin and Kane once again. And if that's the case, there's definitely value for him to find the back of the net for this Detroit Red Wings team here tonight in this game. Lucas Raymond, of course, has scored pretty well lately. For the Detroit Red Wings, been playing a little bit better. They've dropped Finney, Casper, and Appleton on the third line. It was a pretty good line for them against Nashville. We'll see if that continues here for Detroit tonight. But no doubt, I still think my favorite two props, one for each team. It's the two top liners getting the bump. Michael Rasmussen up to the top line for Detroit. Braden Bowman up to the top line for Vegas. Definitely some great prop value there with both of them. All right, Toronto and New Jersey is the other game that we will be on for live during the BetCast tonight for Patreon members. We've got New Jersey minus 120, home favorites, 5.5 the total here in this one. I'm fade Toronto or pass. You guys know that. Like it's take the other team or pass when it's a Leaf game right now. I'm not that excited about having to lay a price now with New Jersey. Credit to them. They did win last night against Florida 5-1. They played, I think, one of their better games in quite some time. Trust me, it's Devils or nothing. If I had to bet a side, it would be Devils. This is with the betcast being tonight. This could be one of these deals where, if Toronto's got any give a shit left in them, maybe they come out strong, get the first goal, and then we can bet New Jersey live at plus money. That's kind of what I'm thinking I might look to do here in this game. Rather than bet New Jersey pregame at a price I'm not that excited about when you're talking minus 120. But this is definitely something I'm going to wait for as far as the betcast. Totals wise, New Jersey's been having a hard time scoring. Toronto's not been scoring all that much. But New Jersey kind of had an outburst offensively last night in their win against Florida, and Toronto's had issues giving up goals. So it's kind of a weird back and forth I'm going on with the total. Obviously, when it's 5.5, I knee-jerk lean over. Obviously, when it comes to a total sitting at 5.5, but this is nothing I'm all that excited about pregame. This is more of a betcast game for me tonight with our Patreon members. If Toronto falls behind, I'll bet New Jersey live will get a better price. And we know the Leafs aren't exactly lock, stock, and barrel to hold on to a lead, at this stage of the season. So New Jersey live, if it shows up, may get involved in that. Maybe a sprinkle. One thing I could see here is both teams in the first period getting on the board. Just skipping the over 1.5 first period and just going right to the plus price with both teams maybe finding the back of the net in the first period. That's a great point by Timothy. And the Leafs have played New Jersey very well. In fact, I think the last time they played was in Toronto, and finally I think New Jersey got one over it was 5-2 for New Jersey in Toronto back in October, but then the Leafs won the second meeting also in Toronto by a score of 4-0. The Leafs are 7-3 in the last 10 meetings, but more importantly, Timothy's right. Toronto has won 9 straight here in New Jersey against the Devils. So this is a game that's just, as you can tell, it's not my favorite game on the board. My plan of attack will be a live New Jersey bet at a plus price if they fall behind. Perlo, what do you think here? Leafs, Devils.
So I mentioned it when we were talking about the games yesterday. This is where New Jersey is going to loosen up. This is they've been playing tight all year. Keefe has got them wrapped up like a gordita. I love that show. But now it's going to be like they got nothing to lose. Go out and have some fun. Blah, 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 blah. You watch. That's what's happening. They did it with Florida. They'll probably do it here. So I did take New Jersey in this one. I think Toronto is just, I don't know. I just don't think they can get up for anything right now. It's really tough when you made the playoffs so many years in a row and you're looking around going, what happened? I think that's what they look like. They even look like it on the ice. Like, what's happening here, man? Oh, my gosh. I can't believe we sucked this bad. And it's just steamrolled down. And we're talking about people are talking about firing Berube. This is one of the better inspirational coaches of this generation. This guy just took a St. Louis team that was dead last, brought him to the finals and won a cup. This guy can't get anything out of these guys? Unbelievable, man. I think these guys are down and out. So I got New Jersey here, but my favorite play hasn't come out yet, and I thought it would come out by now. But I'll be looking at Stolar's over saves. New Jersey shoots like crazy, and they generally don't score all that much. Toronto is the worst team in the NHL for shots allowed by a significant margin. And I think Stolar's, the goaltenders have been playing well. You watch one thing in Toronto, you can't blame the goaltenders. They actually both have been playing very well. So I think Stolar stops enough here, and that'll be probably my bigger play here. I never thought I'd say, well, this is the first time I've taken New Jersey all year, by the way. So we'll see if they bite me in the ass. But I'm almost tempted to take New Jersey team total over, and I never thought I'd ever say that. But I'm thinking about it. If I can, get a 3 at a decent price, maybe live bet at the show. See how New Jersey comes out. Yesterday, I got to give them a pat on the back. Avi, I forgot I had no goals first 10 with Florida and New Jersey. And that was all Avi. Avi pointed me to that. Jersey's pretty slow starter. I just don't know about this one. but yesterday we had that. It was plus 126. But that's what I got on this one. I'm going to look at some shot props. I like maybe Grziak or something like that, because there's going to be lots of shots. It's probably a good idea to take some shot props.
There you go. Like I said, I don't mind that as far as the shot or the saves prop potentially for Stolars, knowing the volume that certainly the Leafs have been giving up of late. It was a little bit better against Philadelphia, but Philadelphia, no offensive juggernaut by any stretch of the imagination. And there were still times where they were getting hemmed in a little bit by the Flyers in that game. And you know what was evident watching the Leafs, and it's just how this roster is just it's a misfit roster as far as construction and the way the Berube wants to play and the way the players are that make up this team. It's just not a good fit. They're dump and chase all night. And they don't have many players that are dump and chasers on this freaking hockey team. You know, it's a bit of an issue with Toronto. And like I said, they were doing that all night. And it's funny. They were dumping and chasing the puck and trying to play that way against the Flyers. They never retrieved it 90% of the time. The reason why you dump it in is because of the chase and the hope that you'll eventually retrieve the puck after you dump it in. They never retrieved the puck for much of that game against Philadelphia the other night. That's the problem, you know. And they said that on Cody Shelley, who's doing a great job in my opinion as an analyst. He was doing the Amazon game the other night, Prime Leafs and Flyers. He said it about 4 or 5 times during the broadcast. They're playing dump and chase, but they're not retrieving it. They're dumping it and they're not winning that puck again after they do that. That's a problem. That's dump and chase not going to work when you dump and there's no chase and there's no retrieval. Simple as that.
Dump and glide.
And glide. Yeah. That's true. I mean, that's a big problem right now for the Leafs. That's why also, I mean, they're playing a style, and that's why they never have the damn puck. If you're going to play dump and chase, you have to retrieve the puck. And if you're going to keep playing that way and you're not going to retrieve the puck after dumping it in, you're not going to have the puck. And that's why the shot totals are going sky high against them. And that's why they're getting outshot badly. And that's why they're getting outchanced badly. And that's why they're getting given up, you know, they're down 26-3 shots on goal like they were one night against Ottawa on Saturday night. So, like I said, just too many issues to name right now with this Leafs team at the moment. From a prop standpoint, in this game, I do like Dougie Hamilton. He's actually scored in back-to-back games and plus 600. Not a bad price for someone that's found the back of the net in 2 straight games from the blue line for the New Jersey Devils. I like this one. I don't know why, but he scored against Toronto before. It wouldn't shock me if he does again. Cody Glass repair, Cody Glass replace. I could absolutely see him maybe stepping up and finding the back of the net here for the Devils as well tonight in this matchup. He scored in 38% of head-to-head games against Toronto in the past. So that's a little something to keep an eye on. I think if I were to bet a Toronto goal prop, McMahon's getting potentially, you know, showcased before the deadline. Maybe you look to him. And maybe you look toward Cowan, although I don't think he's on the 4th line again tonight with Lawton and Lorentz. Nevertheless, Cowan has at least shown little pulses of making something happen in the offensive zone for Toronto. So maybe look in that direction. Again, tonight, the goaltenders in this game, Stolars for Toronto. I'm seeing probably Jake Allen for New Jersey, although it hasn't been confirmed as of yet. All right, so those are our 2 games during the betcast tonight, but we have 3 games in the late night hours later on as well. We've got Carolina, Vancouver. Carolina minus 300 road favorites here in this game. The total sitting at 6 shaded to the over pretty much across the board here in this game. Vancouver obviously thumped by Dallas in their last game. We'll see. I don't think it's going to be much better on Vancouver here tonight, considering they get a Carolina team off on the heels of a 2-1 loss to the Seattle Kraken. They outshot the Kraken 36-15. It was a great performance from Joey Decord in net for the Seattle Kraken, helping the Seattle team emerge victorious there in that game. Carolina, they won 4-3 their last visit to Vancouver last year, back in October. They've won 3 straight in the series, but you look at this Vancouver team, other than the Winnipeg game, in their first game after the break, you go back to before the break, and this is a team that in 4 of their last 5 games has given up at least 5 goals to the opponent. And now you trade away, by the way, we haven't even mentioned it yet, Tyler Myers traded from the Vancouver Canucks to the Dallas Stars earlier today, who, he's got experience back there. It's already a Vancouver defense that's been, a bit of a mess to begin with all season long. So you take him out of there, and you're probably going to have to put Victor Mancini in there now to go with Tom Wielander and Z Buyem and Marcus Pettersson, Phil Hronek, and, of course, the other Elias Pettersson for the Vancouver Canucks. That looks like that's your blue line right now for this game tonight. So, like I said, it's going to be an even bigger challenge for a problematic defense of the Vancouver Canucks now, especially with Carolina coming in here off a loss. It looks like, as far as the goaltending for this game tonight, we've got Kevin Lankinen confirmed for Vancouver. I believe Brandon Bussey will start for Carolina, although that has not been confirmed. It looks like up front, Lekaramaki still out, and Evander Kane for Vancouver. Looks like he is a day-to-day dealing with an illness. He is listed as a game-time decision here tonight. This is just the only bet I've got really pregame on this. Very straightforward. 3.5. It's actually gone up. It's not a great price, but Caesar still has over 3.5 minus 145. So you do have to lay some juice here with this. But yeah, Carolina over 3.5 minus 145. Their team total. I think they get to 4. In fact, this is not even the worst idea in the world to maybe look at an alt team total for Carolina. If you don't love the price with the over 3.5 at minus 145, could always turn it into a plus price at over 4.5. with the Carolina team total over. Again, keeping in mind, Vancouver has allowed 5 goals or more in 4 of their last 5 games entering tonight. So this could be one of those nights where Carolina opens up a can offensively here. And we've mentioned Lankinen and his issues this year for the Vancouver Canucks. It's been a disappointing step in the wrong direction for him this year. 3.69 goals against average, 874 save percentage. And in fact, in the last 14 games, his numbers are even worse. 4.13 goals against, 857 save percentage for Lankinen in his last 14 appearances. Do you know what his record is during that time, excluding games where he came in relief? 1-10-1. Oh, not good as far as the win-loss record for Kevin Lankinen during that time. So, and there's another approach too you can take. We talked about the Carolina team total over approach. Jonathan's liking the Vancouver team total under 2.5 minus 135 approach, that Carolina will just put the clamp down on this Vancouver team. And it's funny, they lost to Seattle 2-1, but Seattle team total under still would have cashed, believe it or not, the other night. Even though Seattle won that game, they still only scored 2 goals, which means if you had bet Seattle team total under 2.5, you would have won still, even though the Kraken emerged victorious in that game. So that's another good way to approach it too. In fact, I might bet that too. 2 goals or less in 9 straight games. Give me Carolina team total over 3.5 and that Vancouver team total under 2.5. I think with, something along the lines of 4-2, 5-2, 5-1, something like that. That's what I've got in mind as a potential final score. Perlo, what do you think? Carolina, Vancouver.
Well, I hope you bet the Seattle team total under. It was my best bet on the show last time I was on.
I did not bet that one. I think I'll bet Vancouver's tonight.
Anyways, last show I had minus 1.5 for Vancouver against Dallas, 2 and 2.5. And I'm doing the same thing here. I'm taking the minus 1.5, 2.5. I might even take the shutout for Carolina. If you don't like that 3.5, I'm putting like a whole bunch of bets on this game. If you don't like the 3.5, another way you can go about it is take Carolina puck line first period and second period, and you can take the team total over 1.5 first period and second period, and you're getting not bad money on those. It's a little juicier now, but when I took it, it was closer to even. So the 1.5 is actually plus money. So yeah, I like it. I think Vancouver team total under 2.5 though. I would be juiced pretty good right now. What's the price on that now? Minus 160, I would think, somewhere around there.
Did it go up? It must have gone up. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Under 2.5, minus 160. So, Jonathan, well done. Or minus 150 is actually still out there at FanDuel with it. Yeah. But, yeah, the minus 135s that Jonathan may have gotten overnight, those are gone.
I never thought about it. I don't know if BetMGM has a 2, but if you can find a 2, that would be a good one, too. Yeah. I might go with that as well. But, yeah, there's lots of ways to go here. I like the team total over. I like flat 4. I like everything. Vancouver going to surprise. You know how surprised I would be if Vancouver actually comes out after the mess that they're in there. I'd be very, very surprised. I don't even think Carolina is going to have to go full bore in this game. So yeah, give me all of those bets for sure. And just a straight puck line is fine, or -2.5 is probably good. Just throw a bunch of bets out. I take like 3 units or 4 units, and I just split it up. And if some of them miss, I'm still green no matter what. So,
yeah, I'm going to dabble in all 3 second line players for Carolina because I think they've all played great. The chemistry's been good since they've been playing together post-Olympic break. Taylor Hall, Logan Stankoven, Jackson Blake. I think that line's been very solid. Wouldn't surprise me if 1, 2, or maybe even all 3 of them get on the board, but at least a couple of them do here tonight. So though that's the line. That's the specific line I'm targeting. In fact, I might, Josh Inglis, who's a great hockey guy, he had me on his show during the Olympics. He likes doing these line stack point parlays, and that could be a good look with Hall, Stankoven, and Blake tonight. I really like that. I mean, obviously, you could do that with the top line, Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis. They're certainly capable of it, but I like the value even more with that line because I think that line's been an even better line for Carolina coming out of the break, and that's Hall, Stankoven, and Blake. They've been very good for the Carolina Hurricanes coming out of the break, so I like the value there with that. All right, next up, we've got Seattle hosting St. Louis. We've got Seattle -145, home favorites, 6 the total here in this game. You got to think Seattle spot here in this game. I know they're off the Carolina win. You hope there's no bounce. You got to stay focused. You need the points. You shouldn't have a letdown. And not to mention, you played St. Louis just a week ago in St. Louis after the break, and you played poorly and you lost 5-1. There should be some redemption here, you would think, for the Seattle Kraken. I'm not enamored with the -145 price by any stretch of the imagination that we're seeing here with Seattle. Meanwhile, St. Louis, they have gone 2-1 since the break. That's another reason why I'm a little hesitant at this price that we're seeing to take Seattle at -145, a price that expensive. We have seen Seattle or St. Louis win 2 of their 3 games following the break, and they played with they haven't been rolling over this team. Obviously a disappointing season. Robert Thomas, Jordan Kyrou, Jordan Binnington, tons of players in trade rumors for the St. Louis Blues, and yet the team's given you a decent, honest effort coming out of the Olympic break, St. Louis, including a big upset against Minnesota over the weekend, 3-1. So that's why I'm a little hesitant, because everything says Seattle, better team, need the points, revenge. They got dusted 5-1 in St. Louis last week. Everything like that says Seattle here, take the Kraken. But I just don't know if I love the price enough. This could be another one of these deals where I see if St. Louis maybe takes a lead and Seattle will get a plus money price on them during the game tonight. Looks like as far as goaltending is concerned, Decord was amazing against Carolina the other night. But it looks like there's a potential at least that Philip Grubauer for Seattle might get the start, and it looks like at the moment Joel Hofer is projected in net for the St. Louis Blues. The fact that Hofer would be in net here for the Blues tonight is would not be a big shock to me. It was Grubauer versus Hofer in the meeting in St. Louis last week, and obviously Hofer played pretty well, got the win, only gave up a goal. So I definitely think we'll see Hofer. It's a question of if I'm Lane Lambert, I would want Decord here in this one off a really good game. Throw a different look at St. Louis, not go back to the guy that was in net for that 5-1 loss last week. I would go with Decord, but I'm not the coach. I'm not Lane Lambert. So we'll see where they go with that. Perlo, what do you think here? St. Louis, Seattle.
Yeah, not my favorite game on the board. I do have that done parlay with Larkin, but if you're going to take the Kraken, take a -1.5. Take the puck line on them, or in regulation, because then when they win, they usually win by the puck line. JD actually, JD has stats on that.
There you go. Yep. That's a good point.
There you go. There they go. Stat Master J, as we like to call them on the show. Yeah, so I got a little pizza money because I'm going to have some pizza tonight, so I might as well pay for my pizza with Seattle on that. Besides that, I am going to look. One thing St. Louis does do is shoot quite a bit. And Decord I think they might go with Grubauer, but either one, because Decord just got lit up last game he played. What, like 50, they had 15 shots, and I think he had 40 shots against them or something like that. So I'm not sure they want to go back to that again. But if I can get something decent, like a 22.5 or something, I'm going to look at saves over for Seattle in this one. And that's pretty much all I got in this game. It's not my favorite game.
Yeah, you and I both. Yeah, there's other spots on the board I like a little bit better. That being said, Robert Thomas has scored in back-to-back games, picking up right where he left off, coming back. He's looked good, looked sharp, trying to improve that trade value. Plus 320, great price. Pavel Buchnevich has scored in back-to-back games for the St. Louis Blues. I like the way Kakko's played. I think Kaapo Kakko would be the goal prop I like most for Seattle here in this game tonight as well. Holloway, always worth a look. And I would just have a little sprinkle tonight possibly on Vince Dunn, from the blue line here for the Seattle Kraken, of course, going against his former team in this game, the St. Louis Blues. So, it wouldn't be a total shock to me to see him maybe find the back of the net. Kairu's got 10 goals in 13 games against Seattle, says Jonathan in the chat, which, makes sense. From all indications, he's playing, Benji. Will Robert Thomas play? Yes, sometimes they precautionary measures. They sit the players they're looking to deal right before the deadline. But as of now, based on everything I'm seeing, he's going to play tonight, Robert Thomas, for the St. Louis Blues. So expect him in the lineup. All right, the last game here for this Wednesday slate, we've got the New York Islanders taking on the Anaheim Ducks. Currently even money pretty much in this game. Minus 110 both sides, 6.5 the total here in this game. Tough loss for Anaheim last night. I thought they had a great start, but you could see once they got down 2-0, that took a lot of the wind out of the sails of the Anaheim Ducks last night. You got to give Colorado some credit. That was the 5th game in 7 nights for them. We noted how maybe difficult it would be, and to be able to find a way to win that game, get some help from their goaltender. Scott Wedgwood played a real sound game. You got to give Colorado credit, but, disappointing loss for Anaheim, and it probably gives Anaheim an opportunity to, try to sharpen up and bring a better, more consistent 60-minute effort, because they have been playing with some fire here since the break. Yes, they had won 3 straight since the Olympic break, but all 3 of those games they were down, they were trailing, they were facing a deficit, and they had to come back to win those games. So, like I said, that's something that would concern me here for Anaheim. You got to have better starts eventually at some point. And last night was one of those nights. Again, they had a slow start. And that last night, this time, they weren't able to get out of it. So we'll see how they fare here tonight in a bounce-back spot. It's an interesting scheduling spot. Yes, it's back-to-back for Anaheim. They've played a lot of games, but no travel. They get to stay at home. And for the Islanders, they do have the rest advantage, but they're going all the way to the West Coast, to start this road trip, even though they do have the rest advantage and they haven't played since Sunday when they beat the Florida Panthers. And David Riddick has been confirmed in net. This is the front end of a back-to-back. Patrick Waugh opting to save Ilya Sorokin for the LA game tomorrow night. We'll go with David Riddick. David Riddick hasn't been as good the last few starts, and that is for damn sure. I know we saw him against Florida on Sunday. They won in spite of Riddick in that game. A couple of those goals had no business going in. That Vilmanis goal, that first goal right under his pad, that terrible goal. And there was another one, too, that was bad that he gave up later in that game against Florida, but they bailed him out. Matthew Schaefer bailed him out. Anders Lee with the game-winning goal bailed him out. The offense came through, rescued a goaltender that didn't play very well in that game against the Florida Panthers with the 5-4 win. Meanwhile, it's looking like a Ville Husso night, I would think, for the Anaheim Ducks. Dostal needs a rest. He played last night. I would expect Ville Husso to play tonight, although it's not confirmed that he'll be in net. I just like the over here, 6.5. Like it quite a bit. In fact, I'm going to make this an over by Fecta here. Islanders and Ducks. First period over, full game over. Islanders have gone 3 games straight to the over following the Olympic break. The Montreal, Columbus, and Florida games for the Islanders, they all went over the total. I expect more of the same here tonight. And their offense is humming right now. If you look at this Islanders lineup, why have they been going over in these 3 games? Well, they've been scoring goals. They got 13 goals in the last 3 games combined, the New York Islanders. They're feeling good. They're healthy finally for the most part, other than Palmieri. Bo Horvat's healthy now. Barzal is healthy now. You're seeing what Anders Lee and Pajot and Holmstrom, that line's picked up the slack. Matthew Schaefer has become an offensive dynamo from the back end here in these few games since the break. So like I said, this is a Islanders team that, as far as confidence goes with the puck offensively, they have it right now. And as we saw last night against Colorado, Anaheim can still give up goals. So I could see the Islanders, especially, and Husso hasn't played in a very long time, if you look back on it. So I'm definitely not willing to say with confidence that Billy Husso is going to be sharp tonight. And obviously, we haven't seen David Riddick play that well the last few times we've seen him for the Islanders. So I think both teams find the back of the net. I like the over by Fecta. I like the full game part of that even more, though. So the majority of the bet will be over 6.5 for me here. Perlo, what do you think? Islanders, Ducks.
Yeah, I think Riddick is just, he's not a great goaltender in pressure spots. And I think the pressure's off of him here. Like, he has played well throughout the year, but when the pressure comes on, Riddick seems to fall. You play in Florida, it's division rival. It's like, it's not a spot you want Riddick in. But I think
not a division rival, but the team that's in the.
Or sorry, not a division rival, but it's champions, and they are, playing for a playoff. They still are here, but they got a little more comfortable room. He has had good numbers against Anaheim in his career. Now we're talking about a different Anaheim team, though. That's the thing. But he could come in with confidence knowing that. Usually goalies know what their record is against teams that they're playing against. That being said, I still like the over. Absolutely. I mean, Anaheim's overruns at home. They haven't been scoring. They've been having trouble scoring the last 2 games. And I think they're going to try to rectify that here. And the Islanders, like you said, Patrick Waugh has always been an aggressive offensive coach. He was in Colorado, and he is here. And that's why you don't see these Islanders teams like you used to now. He plays much more offensive pressure type game. I could see this definitely going back and forth. So I do like the over 6.5. I like I got the Islanders team total over 3 at -129 yesterday with Husso and net, and the way the Islanders are scoring, I really, really like that play.
That's the way you bet the Islanders to me, because I don't want to be playing Russian roulette with Riddick. He could be good. Maybe he does bounce back and plays better, but I don't trust him to right now. There's a lot of 4s on his recent game logs showing up. Yeah. David Riddick, as in 4 goals allowed. That's not good enough. So if I like the Islanders, if I were to bet the Islanders, it would be team total, 100%.
But I got a few bets on here. I did take the Islanders a little bit here. I think this is a little letdown spot for Anaheim. It's going to be tough for them. They just played a huge Colorado game, and they were looking at that game for a long time. Totally circled. Best team in the division, and now you got this Eastern team coming in, and you got to create that energy all over again. Give me the Islanders first period money line, bigger here. I like the Islanders first period, or maybe your favorite, one of your great bets there is Islanders first goal, first period. I like that. Yep. In fact, I got it written down here, and I think it was JD that told me about it last night, so I can't take credit for that one. But I got a little bit on the money line, and I got a little bit on the draw. When you got poor goaltenders here, and pressure on one team, pressure kind of on both teams right now.
I think I haven't recommended or bet a draw yet on this card, and I wasn't planning on it. But now that I look at the Islanders had gone, and I've been on some Islander draws, the Jacket Islander game, the Montreal Islander game. They've had 3 straight games decided by 1 goal coming out of the break. So that game with Florida almost went to overtime on Sunday, if not for Anders Lee. So I think I'm going to add the draw too, Perlo, with this game. Yeah, I think so.
I think a 3-3, 4-4 exact score you could play around with. There's a lot of things you could play around with here, but I think my bigger bet out of all of the things I said, both of these teams are crazy second period over teams. Like Anaheim's 12-5-1. At home, and the Islanders are 13-8-1 or something like that. And when I want an over, and they're 2 great over teams, I'm taking the over 2.5. You get that at plus money. So that's one of my favorite plays here. Over second period, over 2.5 second period pregame. Can't get a 2. If you can get a 2 at a decent price, but yeah, you might be able to. I'm going to look at it. I never even thought about that because BetMGM wasn't open for that yesterday. So if I can get a 2, I'll ladder the 2 and the 2.5. So one of those games where I'm splitting a whole bunch of bets here.
Yeah, you know what? The draw, I'm going to add the draw. I'm looking at it too. The Islanders are not a team I trust to beat teams convincingly, comfortably on the road. I just like,
Yeah.
other than Philly. I mean, they beat Philly 4-0 on January 26th on the road. Other than that, bad Rangers team, they only beat them 2-1 on the road. They lost at Washington 4-1 on the road. They barely beat New Jersey, needed an empty net goal as well to beat them 3-1 on the road. And then, of course, the last two road games for the Islanders, Jackets and the Habs, both after the Olympic break, both went to overtime. So they don't pull away from anybody on the
We
road.
just talked about Rittich.
Not anybody good anyway. Yeah.
We just talked about Rittich under pressure. So if the Islanders are up, there's a really good chance that Anaheim's going to be able to tie it up in the third or something like that.
Yeah. I know Anaheim, it's a dubious spot. They played a lot of hockey, but there's a young team. It's a team that's also not thrilled about losing 5-1 last night. I think the element of an emotional, like you go from playing Colorado to an Eastern team like the Islanders, you don't have a traditional rivalry or history with them. I understand that. But this would have been a worse spot for Anaheim if they had beaten Colorado 5-1 last night. Then I think they'd be even more ripe. Even more ripe for the Islanders to pick them off tonight. I think because they lost in that fashion, I think they're still bringing a pretty good effort tonight. Anaheim.
And the other thing, of course, is they have one of the best motivational coaches of all time too. So you got to have that too. But
personally, for me, this is a stronger Islander spot if Anaheim wins last night.
Yeah, me too.
Against a team in a game they had circled. But because they lost and it got away from them in that third period, I think they'll give the Islanders a game tonight. So, like I said, I don't mind the Islander team total over, though. That's for sure. I think they will score goals tonight, but I think Anaheim chips in as well, and the draw for me. All right, as far as props go for this Islanders and Ducks game, I'm going back to Anders Lee. How can you not? 3 straight games with a goal for this Islanders team. Was a terrific goal he scored the other night against Florida to win it in the final minute. He's been feeling it, and that whole line's been good. Holmstrom and Jean-Gabriel Pajot, they played quite well, no question. So that's definitely worth a look. Simon Holmstrom, I agree with that. Simon Holmstrom, I think is worth a shot. I do see that he's moved up here to the top line in this game for the, or not the top line, top power play here for the New York Islanders as well. So that's definitely an area where you might be able to see him have some success there. And one thing that's worth mentioning is this Anaheim penalty kill has slipped a little bit. Post-Olympic break, they have given up a power play goal, the Anaheim Ducks, in 4 straight games. So that's why I think the Holmstrom props could be worth a look here up on that top. And there he is, just as I say that. Jonathan's got the Islanders to score a power play goal. So, that penalty kill has been a little leaky here for Anaheim. So it's an opportunity maybe for the Islanders to make them do some damage with that here tonight. So there's a lot of good Islander prop options because I do think they're scoring tonight. Holmstrom, Lee, Horvat goes without saying. Those are the main ones I'm looking at as far as the Islanders. If I were to look at Cutter Gauthier has been pretty good coming out of the break for this Ducks team. Did get their only goal last night in the game as well. So someone to keep in mind. I'm just looking at some of the head-to-head numbers as well going into this game tonight. I'm seeing, it's funny, Anthony Duclair for the Islanders has actually scored multiple times against the Ducks in the past. Leo Carlson's got good numbers against the Islanders. So does Kreider, mostly, of course, from all those years with the Rangers, when he played the Islanders so often. So those are definitely a couple of prop options to maybe consider as well for this late-night affair with the Islanders and the Ducks. All right, shout out to everyone in the chat at the like button. We appreciate it very much. And a reminder, Patreon members, Patreon exclusive live betcast coming your way tonight, 7:00 p.m. Eastern. We'll be with you for Vegas, Detroit, Toronto, New Jersey, the 2 early games. Make sure you join us 7:00 p.m. Eastern time. Very much looking forward to it. You can, of course, the link will be posted. The YouTube link to watch the cast will be posted on the Patreon page at around 6 Eastern. We'll go live at 7 Eastern. And again, if you want to join us on the Betcast, on the stream, make sure you DM me or email me, and we'll send you the StreamYard link to join us on the Betcast if you're a Patreon member before it begins. But again, 7 p.m. Eastern tonight, Patreon exclusive live Betcast. WizardSportsPicks.com. Make sure you check it out. It's been a great run. Number 1 in the NHL, profitable in the NBA and college basketball as well. Tons of great handicappers. Just been a great all sports run there. So check it out. wizardsportspicks.com. And as mentioned, Betcast tonight exclusively for our Ice Guys Patreon members. Make sure you get on board, $10 per month, so you can participate and be there with us for the Betcast tonight. And in addition, you get goalie charts, totals charts, daily betting cards, sides, totals, player props posted each and every day on the Patreon page. So make sure you sign up. Your membership goes a long way to supporting the show and keeping it going long term. So check it out, $10 per month, patreon.com/Ice Guys. And also for our Patreon members, because some people sent me a message saying, Ian, I loved that we, during the Olympic break, when there was no NHL, you posted NBA college basketball bets for Patreon members on the Patreon Ice Guys page. But now that hockey's back, I miss not seeing your basketball stuff. The reason I can't post the basketball stuff and the other sports every day on the Patreon Ice Guys page, you have to understand, I'm running a business here. I have a subscription with Dub Club where I offer all sports to those people. Those people are paying $75 a month for all sports at Dub Club to get NHL, NBA, college basketball, MLB, NFL, college football, everything that CFL, everything that I do throughout the year. $75 a month. I can't day in and day out, 365 days a year, post plays and all the other sports besides hockey on the Patreon page when the Patreon members are only paying $10 a month for it. It's just not fair to the Dub Club members. And I've already heard from a couple of them saying, yeah, you're giving them all the basketball plays, they're paying $10 a month. So that's why I can't do it. It's not fair to the Dub Club members. So what I have done, if you're interested in the Dub Club service, where you get every bet in every sport from me every single day, I have posted on the Patreon page exclusively for Ice Guys members, a special offer that's only available to Patreon Ice Guys members for the Dub Club service, $50 off, 1 month all sports, $75 down to $25 for 1 month all sports on the Dub Club platform in all sports. So there you go. Make sure you check it out. Obviously, you guys know I've done well this year in the NHL, but I'm doing well in other sports too, not just a hockey guy, as you guys know. So again, make sure you check that out as well on the Patreon page if you're a member of that Dub Club offer, if you're interested in the other sports as well. So all that and more, patreon.com/Ice Guys. And make sure you check out the Ice Guys store. Get your gear and your merch at iceguys.myspreadshop.com and check out the Ice Guys store and get yourself some gear there at the store. All right, bargain bin special of the night. Best bets coming up right after we hear from our great Ice Guys sponsors.
Wizard Sports Picks, featuring the finest handicappers in the universe. Sharp insights, trusted picks, and relentless results. We strive to help you become consistent winners. This is Wizard Sports Picks.
All right, it is time for Bargain Bin Special of the night. I have no idea how the hell we're going to duplicate what we did last night with a bargain bin from me, Michael Misa, plus 500, a bargain bin from Alex, Anton Lundell, plus 370, and a bargain bin from Matt Robinson, Sam Steele, plus 500. 3 bargain bin special winners last night, but we'll do our best to try to provide an encore for you on this shorter Wednesday slate. Perla, we'll start with you. Bargain bin special of the night.
All right, I'm going to go to that Carolina game, and then I had this. We did this before, where I said you had an Edmonton boy that was playing in Vancouver, and Edmonton people generally don't like Vancouver too much. And now we have somebody who probably lives in a place that is equally, if not more, and that is they lives in Calgary, Alberta. It's Taylor Hall, plus 330 for a goal there on that second line. I'm going to grab him on that. And then we have a guy who is from British Columbia, Stankoven. I'm going to take Stankoven for 2 points at plus 750 for my bargain bins today.
Stankoven for Carolina for bargain bins. And the other one was what again?
Taylor Hall.
Taylor Hall. There you go. I tried Taylor Hall the other night. Yep. I tried Taylor Hall the other night.
Well, like I said, he's from Calgary.
Yep.
Like if anybody wants to beat that crap out of Vancouver, it's Taylor Hall.
Yeah, no doubt. That's not a bad option. I've got bets on all bets. I've bets on everyone on that line. Hall, Stankoven, Blake. But none of them are my bargain bin special, but I do have two once again. I will start with the St. Louis-Seattle game. I am shocked. Player this good, of course, likely to be moved before Friday's deadline, and he has come back and shown you what he's capable of, scoring in back-to-back games. I'm stunned he's bargain bin price worthy tonight. Robert Thomas, St. Louis at plus 320. Unbelievable price. Plus 320 at DraftKings, plus 310 at FanDuel, plus 340 at Betano, an Ontario book, is the best price I see. I'm stunned by it. It's absolutely bargain bin special material. Robert Thomas, St. Louis, upwards of plus 340 tonight for my first of two bargain bin specials of the night. And my second one, I'm going to try to run it back with someone I cashed a bargain bin special with Sunday night in that game-winning goal in the final minute to beat the Florida Panthers, Anders Lee. We're running it back with the captain of the New York Islanders, Anders Lee, plus 380 for bargain bin special of the night with him. So there you have it. Robert Thomas, St. Louis, plus 340, and Anders Lee for the New York Islanders, plus 380 for my two bargain bin specials here for this Wednesday night. I see Alex in the chat. He's posted his bargain bin special. This is another good one. This was in the considerations list for me too. Braden Bowman, Vegas, tonight against Detroit. Of course, up to the top line. We like that kind of a situation. You can find plus 450 at some spots, but most books have plus 350, 360. Still a very good price there. Braden Bowman for Vegas, plus 360 for Alex with bargain bin special of the night. And his best bet, we'll show you his best bet first before we get to ours, the draw between the New York Islanders and the Anaheim Ducks. And there you go. So Alex liking the draw there with the Isles and the Ducks tonight for best bet. All right, Perlo, best bet.
Okay, first of all, catch me tonight. Our show, Rico and Perlo's House of Exotic Picks Frolic. But today it's called the After the Patreon Show, it's After the Ice Guys Patreon Show. So you won't have to do much. You just go watch it, and then right after that, we're gonna go do our show where we talk about betting and all that kind of stuff like that with exotic wagers. And West Coast hockey here in the chat. What did I call him again? Oh, Statmaster J.
Statmaster J, yes.
And Parlay Dre. Statmaster J and Parlay Dre. That's what we call him over there. So go check that out. Also, you catch my Twitter. I got some really good things for you too over on my Twitter. You go check that out. Big surprises over there for you. All right, I had to really think hard on this one. I like two of them, but I think I looked it up at minus 125, the Islanders and Ducks over 2 second period is my best bet today.
All right, so interesting. Second period over 2, New York Islanders, Anaheim Ducks for Perlo with his best bet. My best bet here for this one, I'm just going to go right back to the game we talked about at the end. I like it. I think it's my favorite over of this card. I like the Vegas-Detroit over quite a bit as well, but I like this one more. Give me Islanders, Ducks. I think we've got a little bit more volatility here with the goaltending. Husso hasn't played in forever. I'm not sure he's going to be on top of his game. Riddick's form has been trending downward of late, so I think both teams get on the board. 3 straight overs for the Islanders coming out of the break. 7-3 over run in the last 10 meetings between the Islanders and the Ducks. I think that continues tonight. So New York Islanders, Anaheim, over 6.5, minus 115 for my best bet here for this Wednesday. All right, tonight's the night. Patreon exclusive live betcast, 7 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you join us. Make sure you get to the Patreon page, become a member, be a part of the betcast tonight. $10 per month, patreon.com/iceguys. A reminder, the Ice Guys is live 7 days a week, Monday to Friday, 2 p.m. Eastern, Saturday and Sunday, noon Eastern. If you can't watch the show live, download the Ice Guys podcast in audio form on all major podcast platforms, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, and more. Download the Ice Guys podcast when you can't watch the show live. For Perlo, I'm Ian Cameron. Have a great Wednesday night. We will enjoy the games and good luck, and we will see you in just a few hours, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the Patreon exclusive Ice Guys NHL Live Betcast. And of course, we will be back tomorrow on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, for another regular daily edition of the Ice Guys.